Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I will be fighting a 1,000-point battle between my Dark Angels and Sean's Necrons. So the story that we've got going on here is that a force of Dark Angel scouts were operating on this planet, just a forward operating. It was a ruined planet. Not much life, human life on this planet, and they were just using it for exercises, training to develop their skills as scouts for the First Legion. When underneath the ground, a Necron Tombworld awoken, and the forces of the living metal started coming forth, and they called in for reinforcements. The closest force of Dark Angels that could come to reinforce them and provide a retreat back was a battle barge that was carrying a bunch of the ancients of the chapter back to the rock after going forth on a mission. So they came down onto this planet to help back up their neophyte brethren, future brothers in arms, in their fight against the forces of the living metal. So that's the story that we've got going on here. We're going to be playing the resupply drop mission from the chapter approved, which is there's going to be 6 objectives, as you can see over here. There's one in there, and then there's one over here. Those 6 objectives at the beginning of the 3rd turn. The player who goes first is going to choose 3 of those objectives, and we will roll off on a D3, and the other 2 that aren't selected will be lifted off of the table. Then at the beginning of the next player's turn, so it's still 3rd turn, but the 2nd player's turn, we will roll off for the other 3 that are on the table, and 2 of those will be removed from the table, and there will only be 2 objectives left, and they will be worth 3 points each. We also have First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and Linebreaker, as usual in most of these missions. So that is the story. That is the mission that we're going to be playing here today. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 armies that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off the detachment, we have a Librarian with a Force Sword and a Venerable Chaplain Dreadnought with twin las cannon, fist, and heavy flamer. We have 3 5-man scout squads with bolters. We have 2 Venerable Dreadnoughts, both with fists, both with heavy flamers, 1 with a heavy plasma cannon, and 1 with an assault cannon. And last but not least, we have a mortis pattern Dreadnought with 2 twin las cannons. And for the Necrons, he'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have an Overlord with a War Scythe and the Veil of Darkness. We have 2 squads of warriors, 1 14-man squad and 1 20-man squad. There's a 5-man squad of Immortals. We have a squad of 6 Scarab Swarms. We have an Annihilation Barge with twin Tesla Destructor and Tesla Cannon. And last but not least, we have a Triarch Stalker. Alright, going over deployment now for the Dark Angels. We have a Venerable Dreadnought with the Assault Cannon over here. Venerable Dreadnought with the heavy plasma cannon here. I've got my Librarian. I've got my Chaplain Dread. I've got my Mortis Pattern Dread. I've got a Scout Squad. Scout Squad and Scout Squad. Going over deployment now for the Necrons. He's got his Scarab Swarm over there. He's got his Immortals over here. We've got his Annihilation Barge, his Triarch Stalker. We've got the 2 squads of warriors, and we have his Overlord in the back over there. That's the deployment now for the 2 armies. As of right now, the Dark Angels will be going first, unless my opponent can seize the initiative. He is going to be looking for a 6. Looking for a 6. Here we go. And no, he does not seize the initiative. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. We've got these 2 Dreadnoughts here stood still. All of my scouts stood still. This Dreadnought actually advanced up there, so he moved 11 inches total up that way. This Dreadnought moved up, just regular move, and my Librarian moved up here. That's it for the movement phase. We are actually going to skip the psychic phase because there's nothing in range for me that's going to do me any good, so we will just move on to the shooting phase. Alright, starting off the shooting phase, my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought's going to shoot into his Triarch Stalker there. So we've got 4 shots with the las cannons there, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. Alright, so that is going to be 4 hits, strength 9, wounding on 3s. All right, so we've got 2 wounds at AP -3. All right, 2 6-up saves, making one of them. So 1 goes through, D6 wounds, 5 wounds. So now he's got his quantum shielding. Oh, I thought that's 6, so no damage to him. All right, so now my mortis pattern, not whatchamacallit, my chaplain dreadnought here is going to fire into his Triarch Stalker. So 2 shots hitting on 2s. All right, that's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. Oh. Wah, wah. And now this venerable dreadnought's going to fire his heavy plasma cannon into the Triarch Stalker. So heavy D3. So 2 shots. Hitting on 4 because he moved. Getting 1 hit. Strength 7. Wounding on what's toughness on him? Toughness 6. So wounding on a 3. No wound. All right, so now my scouts here are going to fire into his warrior squad over here. So we got 10 shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. All right. Strength 4, toughness 4, looking for 4s to wound. Getting 3 wounds. AP nothing, so 3 up saves, right? Oh, 4 up saves, 1 second. All right, so 3 4-up saves. Whoa, 1 second, my focus was all out there. 4-up saves. Oh, failing them all. All right, so now my scouts here are going to fire into his immortals. So 5 shots hitting on 3s. All right, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. So that is 5 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, so looking for 4s. Getting 2 wounds. All right, 2 3-up saves. And he makes them both. And that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here. No charges, so no assault. So we've just got, that's all the shots that I can get on him, which was a little rough. So that'll be it for the Dark Angel's turn here. He can't fail morale test because he's got leadership 10. They only lost 3 guys. So we will come back to you with the after movement phase for the Necrons. All right, so first, actually, we're going to do reanimation protocol. So we lost 3 guys over here on a 5-up. Gets back 1 of them. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 1. His Scarab Swarm advanced up towards my scouts over here. His Immortals just moved up over towards my scouts. Everything else over here stood still. So that's it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, these warriors are going to fire into my scouts over here. So he's got 12 of them there that are alive, and they're alive. And they are going to be firing in here. They're in rapid fire range, so we've got 24 shots that are going to be coming in here. Just we can roll it over in here. So 24 shots hitting on 3s, right? All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so strength 4, toughness 4, wounding on 4s. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wounds. These are going to be 8 AP -1, but they are in cover there, so it's going to be +1. So we've got 8 4-up saves. Oh, no. And, yep, 4-up saves. They did. And that is first blood. All right, so now his Triarch Stalker is going to use the focus beam into my Dreadnought over here. So we've got 2 shots hitting on 3s. All right, so there's 1 hit. Strength 8, toughness 7, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound, AP -4, so that goes straight through. So now it's D6 wounds. 2 wounds. So 2 venerables, because he's a venerable dreadnought, so 2 6-ups to see if I can ignore those. No, does not. So that is going to be 2 wounds. All right, so now this warrior squad is going to fire into my dreadnought over here. They had I will be done, whatever it is. Something will be done from him onto them, so they're going to have +1 to their hit, so they're going to be hitting on 2s. They're going to get to reroll 1s because the Triarch Stalker attacked into him, so they will get to have reroll 1s for these hits. So we've got 20 shots. It's probably going to happen. Yeah, so yeah, here we go. Hitting on 2s. All right, and then re-roll those 2 1s. That's it. Yeah, everything else is a hit. All right. And re-roll in here. That's 2 more hits, so that's 20 hits total. Strength 4, toughness 7. So they are going to be wounding on 5s. All right, here we go. Wounding on 5s. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds there. 6 AP minus 1. So we've got 4 up saves. Failed 3 of them. And then these are going to be 6 up venerable saves here. Making 1 of them, so another 2 wounds onto my Dreadnought. And now the Annihilation Barge is going to fire into my Dreadnought over here. So he's going to roll the twin Tesla Destructor first. So these are going to be hitting on 3s, because he didn't move. That 6 is going to be 2 hits there. So we'll come back to that. All right, one of those was a 1. He gets to re-roll, so that is another hit there. So he's going to have, what is that? That's like a bunch of hits there. So these are now strength 7, so wounding on 4s. All right, so we've got 4 wounds. All right, so it's AP nothing, so we've got 4 3-up saves. Make 3 of them, failed 1. Looking for 6-up venerable ignoring wounds. Yeah, with the filthers! Woo! And now the Tesla cannon is going to fire in, so 3 shots, hitting on 3s. Re-rolling the 1s because the Triax Stalker had attacked him before. All right, so we got 2 hits. Strength 6, so wounding on 5s. Getting 1 wound. AP nothing, 3 up. Yeah, he's good. All right, so now his Immortals are going to fire into my Scouts over on this side. So we've got 10 shots there in rapid fire range. These are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, so we got 4 misses from that. All right, and strength 5, wounding on 3s. Ooh, gross. All right, so we've got 5 wounds there. We've got 5 AP minus 2 plus 1 because they are in cover. So we're going to have 5 5-ups. Making 1 of them, so 1 is still alive. All right, so that's the end of the Necron turn here on turn 1. The only thing I've got to do here is a morale test for these Scouts. He lost 4 guys, so 4 plus 4 is 8, but he's the Sergeant, so he's good to go. So that is going to be it for the Dark Angels. This is going to be it for the Necrons here on turn 1. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 2. All right, movement for the Dark Angels here. Both of these Dreadnoughts back here, my Mortis and my Chaplain stood still. My Scouts stood still. He moved up. He moved up. Did not advance to either of them. So that's it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the Psychic phase. All right, so now my Librarian here is going to cast Righteous Repugnance onto my Dreadnought over there. So looking for a 7. Oh, my God. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll one of those. Okay, doesn't go off, but at least I didn't barrels. All right, so at the start of the shooting phase, I am going to spend a command point on Wisdom of the Ancients, which means that I'm going to cast it onto him. So now these units here for this phase can actually reroll hit rolls of 1. So we're going to start off with my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought firing into his Triax Stalker over there. So we've got 4 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, not re-rolling 2s. These are now going to be wounding on 3s. Oh, okay. So we got 1 wound onto him. All right, so a 6-up save. No, goes through. How much damage? 3 damage. Let's see on these. He's got to roll lower than a 3. No, he gets a 3, so it goes through. He takes 3 damage. All right, so now my Chaplain Dread is going to fire into his Triax Stalker, hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s because of that stratagem. So that's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds. 2 6-up saves. No, both go through. So 2d6 wounds. We got a 4 and a 2, so we'll do the 4 first. So he has to roll lower than a 4. No, and the 2. No, so that is going to be another 6 wounds onto him. All right, so now this Dreadnought here is going to fire into the Triax Stalker. Heavy D3. 1 shot. This is going to be hitting on a 4. No hit. All right, so now my Dreadnought here is going to fire into his guy over here. So he's going to shoot with his assault cannon. He moves, so it's going to be hitting on 3s. Alrighty, so that's all but 1. Strength 6, toughness 6, so looking for 4s to wound. Getting 2 wounds at AP -1, so we're going to have 2 4-up saves. 1 goes through, and that's all it needs because it's 1 damage, so you can't roll lower than a 1. So he is dead. Does he explode? I think he does. 1 second. He, in fact, does not explode, but he is dead. All right, so he is going to fire into his immortal over here, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 3-up save. No, goes through. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. On to the assault phase. My Dreadnought here is going to charge into his warriors over here. So he's going to have 24 shots in Overwatch here. These are going to be hitting on 6s. So getting a couple hits there. We'll come back to that. All right, so 4 hits, wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds. So we've got 2 4-up saves. Oh, fake 1 of them. 6-up, ignoring wounds. No, so he's going to take 1 wound, and then he needs an 8-inch charge to get in. And he's in. All right, so that's it for the charges. Onto the assault, onto the fight phase. My Dreadnought's going to go first. He's got 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. So that is 4 hits. Wounding on 2s. That is going to be 3 wounds. AP -3, so we've got 6 up. Oh no, that just goes through. So that is just going to be 3 dead warriors. All right, so they're going to attack back with 9 attacks, hitting on 3s. All right, so we've got 4 hits there. And then we've got 4 hits, strength, what is it, strength 4. So looking for 5s to wound. Getting 3 wounds, not bad. So we got 3 3-up saves. And I make them all. Woo! And that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here on turn 2. He does not need to take a leadership test because he only lost 3 this turn. So that is going to be it. We will come back to you with reanimation protocols. All right, so we're going to start with this squad over here. They've got 5 guys down, 5 looking for 5-ups. No, not getting anyone back. And then this guy's lost 1, so looking for 5-up. No, he is still down. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 2. His warriors here fell out of combat with my Dreadnought. His annihilation barge moved up towards my Dreadnought over here. And then over on this side, the Immortals moved up this way. The Scarabs moved up this way. And he used the Veil of Darkness. I think it's called Veil of Darkness, with him. So he took him and this squad of 20 warriors and dropped them over here, looking on my scouts over here. Poor Jenkins thought he was safe in the back lines over here. So they popped in over here, looking at all of this. So we'll see what happens with that. So that's it for movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, starting with the shooting phase, his Annihilation Barge is going to fire into my Dreadnought over here. So he's going to go with the twin Tesla Destructive first. So you got 8 shots here, hitting on 3s. All right, so those that 6 counts as 2, so we'll come back to you with that. All right, so strength 7, looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound, AP nothing, so 3-up save. And he's good. All right, and now the Tesla cannon is going to fire. So assault 3, hitting on 3s. All right, so that's 1 hit. Strength 6, so looking for a 5 to wound. No wound. All right, so his Immortals are going to fire into my lone scout over here. So we've got 8 shots from them because they're in rapid fire range. So these are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, so hitting on 3s. Ooh, all hits, pretty brutal. These are going to be wounding on 3s. All right, so that is just 2 non-wounds. So we've got 6 saves. AP -2, +1 for being in cover. So looking for 6 5-ups. Ooh, no, ooh, that was real close, but no, he's, yeah, he is dead. All right, so now these warriors here are going to fire into my scouts over there. So they are going to have 11 of them are in rapid fire range. So we've got 31 shots that are going to go into there. These are going to be hitting on 2s because of mine will be done. Somebody's is going to be done. They get to hit on 2s. So here we go, hitting on 2s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so these are going to be wounding on 4s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so we had 12 wounds. They are in cover there, so we've got 12 AP -1 on these. So it's going to be AP +1, -1. So we got 12 4-ups. Failing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are, yeah, they are well dead. Chickens, no! All right, and that is it for the Necron turn there. There's no one to take any morale tests, and that is going to be it. So we will come back to you with turn 3, which is when things get interesting. All right, so at the beginning of turn 3, what we are going to do is we're going to choose these 3 objectives. This one, and this one. And now we're going to roll to see which one is going to stay. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So we roll the D3. 1. Oh no, that's the one that stays. That's it's gonna be rough for me to get. All right, so movement phase for the Dark Angels. These guys moved over towards here. He stood still, and he moved up this way, getting between the 2 units there. And that is it for the movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 3. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so start of the shooting phase, I'm going to spend another command point on Wisdom of the Ancients onto my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought there, and they are going to get rerolls of 1. So we're going to start off with my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought shooting into his command bar, his annihilation barge over there. So we got 4 shots hitting on 3s. Oh no, he moved, so hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds, AP -3. He's only got an armor 4. Oh, he's only got armor 4, so those are going to go straight through. So D6 wounds each. We've got 4 and 4, so you can actually just roll them both. If any of these are lower than 4, 1 is, so he'll take 4 wounds. And now my chaplain is going to fire into him with his las cannons. 2 shots, hitting on 3s because he moved. All right, that's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. All right, that is going to be 1 wound. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Oh, into another 1, of course. So that is going to be, so that's 1 wound that's going to go through. So D6 wounds. Oh, 2 wounds. Can he roll a 1? No, so he's going to take 2 wounds. All right, so now I'm going to spend a command point on Weapons of the Dark Age on my Venerable Dreadnought here, who is going to supercharge. So, heavy D3. Get 1 shot here. Hitting on a 2 because he didn't move. That's a hit. Strength 8. Looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP -3. So AP -3 goes through. So that is going to be 3 damage. Can he roll 2 or 1? No, a 3. So he is going to be dead. But does he explode on a 6?
It's not within 3 inches.
It's only 3 inches for his thing? All right.
3 inches.
All right, so now this Dreadnought's going to fire everything into his warriors over here. So we're going to go with the heavy flamer first. So we've got D6 shots. 5 hits. All right, these are auto hits. So strength 5, toughness 4, looking for 3s to wound. That is 5 wounds. AP -1, +1 because he's in cover there. So we're going to have 5 4-up saves for them. Failing 3 of them. And now the assault cannon is going to fire in there. He did move, so we've got 6 shots hitting on 3s. All right, all hits. Strength 6, so wounding on 3s. Failing 3 of those, so we've got 3 wounds, AP -1, +1, so we've got 3 4-up saves. Oh, fails all 3 of them. All right, so now my Venerable Dreadnought is going to charge into his guys over here. So he's rolling for Overwatch, getting 1 hit. So that is going to be wounding on a 5. No wound there. So his charge distance is totally in. All right, so then starting off the fight phase, my Dreadnought is going to attack into him. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is 3 hits. Wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds. I'm going to spend my last command point to reroll that. That is 3 wounds, and that is the squad wiped. All right, so that's the end of the Dark Angel's turn here. No morale test, but he is going to have to see if his guy comes back over here. He does not, so he is still down. All right, so now we're going to roll to see which of these other ones is going to stay. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So this one's the one that's staying. All right, it's going to be a heck of a fight over that one. All right, so movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 3. His warriors moved up this way towards my Dreadnoughts. His overlord is booking it over this way, and his immortals are moving around here, and his scarabs stood where they were. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so now these warriors here are going to start us off by shooting into my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought. So we're going to have 40 shots here, hitting on 3s. Here we go. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so now these are going to be wounding on 5s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so we had 8 wounds, AP -1, so 8 4-up saves. Failing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brutal, but he's still alive. All right, so that is it for the Necron's turn here. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 4. All right, movement phase. He advanced over there. He advanced up this way. My Librarian advanced up over this way. The Mortis Pattern Dreadnought stood still, and my Chaplain Dreadnought is moving up this way. So that is it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. Actually, we're going to move into the psychic phase. I forgot. He is within 18 inches, so he is going to smite into the warriors over there. So looking for a 5. Getting it with an 8. D3 mortal wounds. That is 1 mortal wound. Now into the shooting phase. My Venerable Dreadnought's going to start with his Heavy Flamer. D6 hits, 1 hit. That is 1 wound. AP -1, so he's looking for a 5-up. No, 1 dead. And his las cannon's going to fire into there. Hitting on 3s because he moved. Wounding on 2s. So that is 1 wound, AP -3, so that is just another 1 dead. And now the Mortis Pattern Dreadnought's going to fire into him with the las cannons. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 2s. That is 3 more dead. All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. On to the assault phase. We're going to start with my Chaplain Dreadnought charging into his warriors over here. So we have 28 shots in Overwatch, hitting on 6s. All right, we got a couple in there. We'll come back to that. All right, so 6 hits. These are going to be wounding on 5s. Getting 3 wounds. 3 4-up saves. Making 2 of them. And then 6-up Venerable ignoring. No, so he takes 1 wound. And now his charge distance is totally in. And now my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought's going to charge in. He is in. All right, so my Chaplain Dreadnought is going to attack in here. He's got 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. All right, don't get to reroll 1s because he's not equipped with 2 close combat weapons. So that's 2 hits. Wounding, he's got strength +1. Well, he's got strength ×2 because of the claw, but he's also got an additional +1 to his strength because of his special abilities. But regardless, wounding on 2s. So that is 2 dead warriors. And now my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought's going to attack in here. He's got 4 attacks hitting on 3s. All right, so that's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s because strength 6. All right, so that is 2 wounds. He's got 2 4-up saves. Failed both of them. All right, so now his guys are going to activate. 7 are going to go into my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought. 3 are going to go into my Chaplain. So we got the 7 onto the Mortis, hitting on 3s. All right, so we missed 3 of them, so we got 4 hits. These are going to be, 4 hits are going to be wounding on 5s. 4 hits. You had 4 hits, so 1 more. All right, so that is 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves. Cocked. Making 1. And then 3 into my Chaplain. That is 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. 3 up save. He's good. Woo! All right, so morale at the end here. He lost 10 guys in that turn. He rolled a 5, which means he loses another 5. Pretty brutal. So that is the end of the Dark Angel's turn here. We will come back to you with the reanimation rolls for the Necrons. All right, so reanimation protocol. The 5 that ran away can't come back. So you can't come back if you run away, but you can get back the 10 that I'd killed before. So he's got 10. Looking for 5s. Getting back, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are going to be coming back. And then he's going to roll, and he does come back. He had a 6, so he came back over there. All right, movement phase for the Necrons. These guys stayed in combat with my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought. These guys, his Warlord advanced back over this way, and they moved around him, and the Scarabs stayed back there, and that is it for the movement phase. So we will come back to you with the, is anyone in shooting range? No, right? Yeah, no one's in shooting range, so we're just going to come back to you with the fight phase. All right, so now moving into the fight phase, no shooting to be had. They are going to attack into my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought. So we've got 10 attacks coming in here, hitting on 3s. All right, so we got that one's cocked right there against the wall there. So reroll that one, yeah. All right, so we've got 3 misses there. So these are now going to be wounding on 5s.
Come on!
Strength 4, toughness 7.
Come on,
Here we go.
Come
Wounded on 5s.
I just need a 3.
Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even do it.
Come on. Oh!
No 5s, so no wounds. And now my Mortis Pattern Dreadnought's going to attack back, so he's got 4 attacks hitting on 3s. All right. Wounding on 3s. We've got 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 2 4-ups. Yeah, 2 4-ups, 2 regular saves. Makes one of them, 1 dead.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the Necron turn here. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 5. All right, so movement phase for the Dark Angels. He moved around here. He fell back out of combat over this way. My Librarian advanced up over here. This Dreadnought moved up. That Dreadnought moved up over that way. So that he is in the line breaker range over there. And that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, he is going to smite into them. Ooh, does not get it with a 3. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, my Chaplain Dreadnought's going to fire his heavy flamer into his warriors and the twin las cannon into his immortals. So we're going to go with the twin las cannons first, hitting on 3s because he moved. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. That is 1 wound. AP minus 3, so they've got a 1 6-up save. We'll come back to you with that. All right, 1 6-up save. No, 1 dead. And now my Dreadnought here is going to fire his plasma cannon into them. D3 shots. 2 shots. Hitting on 3s because he moved. Getting 1 hit. Glad I didn't supercharge. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound, AP minus 3, so we got another 6-up save. 6-up save? No, another dead one. Sorry, and I forgot to do the heavy flamer over here. So that's going to be 6 hits. So. Wounding on 3s. Oh, so we've got 3 wounds, AP minus 1, so that's going to be 3 5-ups. Making 1, so 2 dead. And now that's it for shooting phase. Into the assault phase, my Chaplain Dread is going to charge into his warriors over here. So there's 14 shots in Overwatch. Ooh, we got a bunch of 6s. These are now wounding on 5s. Getting 1 wound. 1 3-up save. Oh, failed. 6-up. Ignoring the wound. No! So he takes another wound, but his charge distance is totally in. All right, so now he is going to start us off with the attacks there. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. That's 4 hits. Wounding on 2s. So that is going to be 3 dead Necrons. And now his 4 guys are going to attack in there. So we got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, getting 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves, making them both. Woo! All right, going into the morale phase at the end here. They lost 5 during this phase, so 5 plus 1 is 6, and they are good to go. So that is the end of the Dark Angel's turn here. We will come back to you after movement phase or with reanimation protocols, I should say, for the Necrons. All right, so we're going to start over here. We've got 11 Necrons down there. A bunch of them are coming back.
Yes.
Wow, all but 3? So we've got 8 that are coming back. That is brutal. And then their reanimation protocol, 2 guys are down, and none are coming back. All right, so movement phase. They all stood still. These guys stood in combat over here. So we're just going to move into the fight phase. So we've got 11 guys that are attacking in here. So hitting on 3s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, and these are going to be wounding on 5s. We've got 3 wounds there. 3 3-up saves. And he's good. And now I will attack back with my 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. Wounding on 2s. That is 3 dead Necrons. All right, so that is the end of the turn. They only lost 3 this round, so they do not have to take a leadership test, and that is going to be it. So that's the end of turn 5. So at the end of turn 5, we now have to see if we go on to a turn 6. On a 3-up, we will go to turn 6. Oh, no, we do not. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the game. And with 3 points to me, 3 points to him, he scored first blood. He has Linebreaker. I have Linebreaker. It is a Necron victory by 1 point with first blood. That was a brutal, brutal game, but a ton of fun. He just slaughtered all of the scouts. So the next generation of Dark Angels is going to have trouble. I imagine, I imagine Jenkins found a way to just like crawl away, and the apothecary brought him back. But that was still brutal, slaughtering them. And then he just played to the objectives, which is exactly what you had to do. These guys coming back with 8 guys coming back, that was killer. 8 out of the 11 dead coming back. That was awesome. Yeah, so that was a ton of fun. I just wanted to run the list because I wanted to run as many dreads as I had. And I thought that would be fun. So the lone man out was my librarian over there, and he didn't do a lot, but it was still fun. I'm really liking him. He's a lot of fun, just like a beat stick walking around with some las cannon strapped to him. So yeah, it was a ton of fun. I had a blast, and my opponent kept talking about it. He was like, "Oh, I don't know. I think you're gonna kill me." I'm like, you gotta play the game. We gotta see what happens, and he played it perfectly. I mean, he jumping these guys over here. Maybe you have to turn over this way, and it left those 2 guys, those 2 Dreadnoughts, pretty much out of commission for the rest of the game. And then over here, I just couldn't take him down. 20 is a hard nut to crack over there. So yeah, it was brutal. And then he just hit his warlord over there, so I couldn't get him. That's what you got to do to win it. So he went, he played it perfectly, and that's how you win the game. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Sean, and until next time, have fun.